Hi K-Astrology family, welcome back, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Cailin, and on K-Astrology I post all kinds of content related to astrology, tarot, spirituality and occult knowledge. So if this kind of content interests you, please subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram, where I'm very active, on Twitter and on Facebook as well. This month I'm going to be doing a new series on all 12 astrological signs and how the astrological events of October are going to impact those signs. So please watch your ascendant sign video, otherwise known as your rising sign, first and foremost, ahead of sun or moon signs. Despite the fact that you may identify more with your moon sign or your sun sign, you will get the most accurate reading if you watch my ascendant sign video. By all means, you can watch all three, but if you're only going to watch one today, watch your ascendant sign video. So for the month of October, it's pretty jam-packed full of lots of things going on. The most important one, I think, is that we're starting to feel the effects of the Mercury retrograde pre-shadow period, which is always about 2 weeks-ish before Mercury actually stations retrograde. That will be on the 14th of October. But you'll definitely be feeling those energies from the beginning of October. You might even feel that from the end of September. I've certainly been feeling that myself. And anyone who's a Gemini rising or Virgo rising, sun or moon, you will feel that more strongly than anyone else, as will Scorpio for this month. So with Mercury being in retrograde until November the 4th or 5th, you are going to find that exes are going to be popping up out of the woodwork, whether that's ex-partners, ex-friends, or people who used to be in your life. It doesn't have to necessarily have ended on bad terms, but you'll just find that people start messaging you out of the blue or calling you out of the blue to catch up or just to chat. And that's going to have a big impact on wherever you have Scorpio in your birth chart. That is where Mercury will be transiting. For the rest of the month, we will also be seeing Pluto turning direct on the 4th of November, and we're going to see 2 full moons this month, a full moon in Aries on the 1st of October and a full moon in Taurus on the 31st of October. And in addition to that, Venus will be in Virgo for almost the entire month. And we've got a couple of other things happening in the month as well. So enough of the preamble, I'll get into the individual videos now. So make sure you are watching the right video for you. And like I said earlier, you can definitely watch all 3 for your sun, moon and rising. Hi Sagittarius, sun, moon and risings. I hope you guys are well. We do have a very busy October. It's busy for everyone, but fortunately you guys aren't affected too badly. Now we've got Mars retrograde in your 5th house, and the 5th house rules over creativity, fun, children, if you have children, more specifically your firstborn child. It rules over sports, gambling, lots of fun and exciting activities. But with Mars being retrograde, and it's turned retrograde from the 9th of September, and it won't be direct again until the middle of November, you are going to be working in a lot of detail on any creative project that you have on the go. Now, it could just be like artwork that you're working on, or any artistic endeavor or creative pursuit, or it could even be your own business, your own company, because you create that. That's also ruled by the 5th house. So when Mars is retrograde, or when any planet is retrograde, we have to put a lot more focus and attention onto that area with that planet in order to make it manifest. It takes a lot more effort. So essentially, if you have a project that you are working on, you need to put in a lot more effort than what you would normally need to. And Mars is a very dynamic and strategic planet. It's a planet that likes to take action, and when it's retrograde, which essentially means that it's, you know, moving slowly and moving backwards, not really backwards, but it basically signifies that things aren't moving at the pace that you expected or what you would like, and you've come up to a few issues which require a lot of problem solving skills, and you've had to look at things from a totally different angle. You might have even needed to change direction with how you, let's say if you've got a project that you're about to launch or a business that you're about to launch, you might have even needed to have pivoted and changed a lot of things around. And basically, it is a cause for frustration, but I suppose the fact that it's in the fifth house means that, you know, it's something that you do because you love it and you enjoy it. You know, you're not, with the fifth house, the activities that we do here, they're hobbies, they're our passions, they're not things that we're forced to do. So no one's like forcing you to play the piano. Like you do it because you love it. And we're having a full moon in Aries, and that will be on the 1st of October. So when we have a full moon in a house, it's where we can release something, because full moons represent culmination and coming full circle. So you might be releasing some creative work out to the public, or on another level, with the fifth house representing your children, and again more specifically your first child, you just want to be around to lend some extra support to them, because, you know, the fifth house does rule things going wrong or accidents or just like struggles and frustrations. So your first child might be going through a bit of a difficult time at the moment, and a full moon we can always see like something peak or a climax. Now, the fact that the planet that rules your fifth house, which is Mars, is not direct until middle of November, you know, you might need to be lending some support to them up until that time. And, you know, just to clarify, with your creative works or project or business, that can start moving more smoothly from the middle of November. Now, this Mars in retrograde is squaring your Capricorn house, which is the second house, and the second house rules your finances, valuables, possessions, anything in which you find value, and therefore it also represents how you value yourself. So your self-worth, your self-esteem is indicated by the second house. Now, with all this Capricorn energy being in the second house, we've got Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all in this, like clogging up your second house. You might have felt restricted by your finances, how you're making money, your financial situation in general. And, you know, when you have Saturn in the second house, you can feel like things are stagnating. You're not having as much income as you expected, or you were used to a certain level of income and that's been, you know, blocked for whatever reason. Saturn has been in your second house since middle of 2018, and Saturn won't be leaving your second house until mid-December this year. So after December, or let's just say after January, you will be receiving a lot more income. You won't be as stressed about finances, and you will also have a renewed sense of self-worth and heightened self-esteem. The Saturn, you know, it blocks and it restricts. So not only has it been blocking your access to your finances or blocking your income, it's also been blocking your ability to find value in who you are, and you might have been feeling a lot less confident than what you're normally used to, because Sagittarius, you guys are super confident. But all I'm saying is it's good news that after the end of the year, things are going to be looking up for you guys again. Now we've also got another full moon happening in Taurus. It is on the 31st of October and it is in your 6th house. It's conjunct Uranus, which is a planet that represents swift change, sudden upheavals, anything that is like shocking and completely unexpected. And the 6th house rules over your daily health habits, your diet, your exercise regime. It rules over employees or any help that you've hired, and it also rules over pets. So with this full moon being in an exact conjunction with Uranus, which is as powerful an aspect as you can get, just be mindful that something really shocking or unexpected might occur in any of those matters. So that could be something happening in the life of one of your employees. Be careful with pets as well during this time. You could actually unexpectedly be taking in a pet as well, which, you know, you never had it in mind that you would, you know, get a domestic animal or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh wow, okay, you know, I'll take this animal in, that's fine. But on another note, you could actually have an epiphany regarding your current health status or your diet, because Uranus rules a divine knowledge, and it's knowledge that comes very suddenly. And the fact that it's conjunct this full moon, the full moon rules your subconscious self, and thus any gut feelings that you have. So you might just get like a sudden download where you're like, I'm totally going to change my whole life, my whole way of eating. You might suddenly become vegan. If you're vegan, you might suddenly start eating meat. If you have been struggling with your weight, you might suddenly have a fully formed action plan of how you want to tackle those issues. And on totally different note, full moon represents release. So you could have been working on something in the health industry, because the 6th house rules health. It rules over doctors, anyone in a medical field, in any capacity. So you might have been working on some kind of innovative, new age, modern science in relation to health, something that's going to help cure a disease or just help people. It could be anything to do with modern science that you're releasing into the world at this time. It's a project that has come full circle, and it's finally time to put it out there into the universe. So if that's the case, good luck with that. Now we've got Venus in Virgo, transiting your 10th house. Wherever Venus go, it brings some ease or joy, like enjoyment, or just, you know, diplomacy, harmony into that house. And the 10th house rules your public reputation, your vocation. It rules your boss, like top management. If you don't work for yourself, then it rules like bosses, top management, people above you, like the big wigs in your organization or industry. The 10th house also rules government. And if you are your own boss, well, then, you know, this is representing you. So in a nutshell, you are going to be having a really great time at work during this period from the 3rd of October till the 28th of October. Venus will be in Virgo. Anything that you put to your boss or upper level management will be received well at this time, and you will be seen as someone who is balanced, well-adjusted, someone who presents well, and someone who is a people person, and not in a pushover way. I mean someone who is friendly and amicable and can get along with just about anyone. So if you're actually looking to ask for a promotion or a raise, or you're submitting an application at this time to take your career up to the next level, this is a brilliant time to do that, Sagittarians, and good luck with it because it will be received well. Now we've got Mercury in Scorpio, and that is in your 12th house. Now Mercury stations retrograde from the 13th or the 14th of October, depending where you live in the world, and it will be retrograde until around the 3rd or the 4th of November. It's not as short as it sounds, because anytime Mercury is retrograde, there's always a 2-week pre-shadow period which is involved, and a 2-week post-shadow period. So what that means is you will start feeling the effects of Mercury being retrograde from the beginning of October, if not maybe even from the end of September. So basically, Sagittarius, when you have Mercury in the 12th house, wherever Mercury goes, this is what we're currently thinking of, and we want to learn more about this area. We're talking more about it, we're thinking more about it, we're reading more about it, we're learning more about it. So for you, the 12th house represents spirituality, meditation. It represents far away countries, like foreign lands. So does the 9th house, but 12th house does as well. It also represents anything that you do in a secluded space, so art studios, laboratories, whether that's it also rules over hospitals. It rules over like spa retreats, private islands. I can't remember if I said hotels, but it also represents hotels. So obviously there's a large scope of areas where you could be focusing your attention. But when Mercury or any planet is retrograde, this is when there is a large potential for things to not go to plan, and for there to be miscommunications and misunderstandings. So on one level, the 12th house represents anything that is like it's secretive in nature, but not the same way as the 8th house. The 12th house represents secrets in the sense that it's like backdoor dealings, private conversations. I suppose that's the 8th house as well, but nonetheless, when you have Mercury in Scorpio retrograde in the 12th house, anything that you say in private to another person, whether that's communicating face to face, or whether that's over messaging devices, all of that is fair game when it comes to accidentally or intentionally being revealed, because the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio doesn't want to hold on to secrets. It wants to divulge them and get them out into the open. I'm not saying that if you gossip about someone one day, it's going to be found out the next day. This is something that could come to bite you in a few months' time, or the next time that Mercury is retrograde. On a completely different level, you might be reading so much about astrology or tarot or the occult, or learning about meditation, anything which is 12th house in nature. A lot of your attention can definitely be directed to one or more of these areas. And you could actually have or receive some kind of communication or sign from the other side, because the 12th house rules the other side, and it also specifically rules over your father's maternal line, if not your father's mother, because it is the 4th house from the 9th house. It's a bit complicated, but long story short, you could easily get into contact with people who have passed away, during this period of time, there's a unique chance and opportunity for you to receive messages, or you could be receiving them via someone who works in the spiritual realm. Again, tarot reader, a psychic, clairvoyant, or even an astrologer. Whatever it is, there's something about this time, Sagittarius, which has you thinking deeply about life after death and those who have passed away in your life. And the 12th house also rules over your immediate past life. So you could have some sudden epiphany, or receive information about who you were in your most recent past life, because Scorpio wants to dig and uncover things, and Mercury represents information. So you have a very interesting month ahead, Sagittarius. Now, for those of you who aren't interested in all of that, I don't want to freak you guys out. If you're not interested in it, that stuff won't come up for you. It simply won't. You have to be open to it and seeking it out. So if you're happy, closing the book and keeping it firmly closed on that side of things, do not stress at all. I was not trying to freak you guys out. But anyway, Sagittarius, that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed it, please like it. And if you want to see more and you want to see your November report and more content, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks, Sagittarius, and have an awesome October.